Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Divine Feminine Healers podcast. It is your host, Angelica, intuitive healer. Today's episode, I'm going to get into the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, which is happening on Friday, March 14th. I channeled 4 intuitive messages and then also pulled some goddess cards for more guidance on how you can work with the energy of this full moon. And first, I wanted to get into what's happening astrologically. So, we are now officially in eclipse season, which starts with the lunar eclipse, and it starts in the sign of Virgo. And typically, the full moons are a time of ripening when things come kind of to an apex and we're ready to start to then release, because then the moon for the next couple of weeks begins to reduce her light and shed her light, and we too begin to shed old habits and patterns and releasing and letting go. Now, during eclipse season, eclipse cycles are said to be fated events to bring us to our destiny. Eclipses are ruled by the north node and the south node of the moon. The north node is where we're going towards our destiny, what we're attracted to, what we're pulled to, and even like what our ego is drawn to, where our desires are in this lifetime. And the south node is kind of what keeps us tethered to earth. This could be karmic cycles, this can be past lives, this could be old patterns that are getting recycled that are being brought up to the surface. And it's very spiritual because there's this deep reflection that has to happen to understand what these patterns and these tethers are. So it's this interesting push and pull between old cycles coming up during eclipse season and also in order for them to clear so that you can really step into your destiny, what you are fated to have in your life. So how we all experience eclipse season is very different based on our natal birth chart and our own life experiences. Some may experience very abrupt changes during eclipses because it's fate. The universe is like, this is where your destiny is, and we want to get you there as quickly as possible. So certain endings may feel abrupt during eclipse season. Things may be cleared on a physical reality, but also just energetically. You may just be clearing up a lot of space. What's interesting about this eclipse season is we have Venus and Mercury both in retrograde. And so, again, that is just highlighting Venus, the planet of pleasure and love and relationships, Mercury, the planet of communication and connection. These areas of your life, you're going to do extra reflection, extra refinement. There's an emphasis on this area of your life, which is interesting because the messages that I did pick up on are highlighting themes of relationship. So let's get into the 4 messages that I channeled for this full moon in Virgo. Now, before I get into that again, I want to go into what Virgo is. Virgo is represented by the goddess. She is an earth sign and she's very connected to the garden and flowers and nature, kind of like a Snow White persona and archetype is what I was getting when I was tuning into these messages. And she rules the 6th house. So she also rules our habits, our rituals, and our routines. And she's the nurturer. So she brings in this unconditional love by having routine, by having ritual and food and nourishment, being so connected to the earth element, but also being connected to beauty and seeing the beauty all around you. Now, I wanted to start with that because a lot of these messages are going to reflect the archetype of Virgo being the goddess. And this is the energy that you are being directed to step into during this full moon eclipse. So let's get into message number 1. It feels like you're going to be locking into specific habits and routines that are going to make you feel so grounded and so clear. And this is what's going to put you at full speed ahead. So if you have been kind of reflecting past couple of months or weeks, trying out different routines and habits, and you're kind of like been finding your balance with this, it's now going to become crystal clear during this eclipse cycle of what habits work for you, what routine you really need, and be really firm in that in a way that's not rigid, but in a way like, I know that this works for my body. I'm not going to commit to it. And once I finally just like commit to this direction that I know is true for me, because I trialed and errored enough to know that this is right for my body's needs and wants, that is going to catapult you forward. And it's almost going to feel like they showed me this beautiful metaphor of you clicking your seatbelt into place and then like taking off like a rocket ship. So it's going to feel like that. As soon as you click into these habits and these routines that are really fruitful for you, that you already know what those are, that is where it's going to fast track you. And it's this grounded type of energy. Like it's not like, oh, everything's moving fast, so now I have to go back into that chaotic energy where I was flying at the seat of my pants. It's like, oh, I'm moving fast in a sense, like I'm going towards my goals, things are happening quickly, opportunities are coming through to me, but I'm still in this mode of moving intentionally and trusting my intuition. So all that foundational layer that you built with this past Mars in retrograde, where we are asked to tune into our intuition before taking action, is being put to work right now. Even though it may feel on one end like things are moving quickly and you're getting new opportunities, your day-to-day rituals are still going to be moving slowly and intentionally, and that's going to lock you into place to bring in more of these opportunities. Message number 2, the love that you're a lot of us are unlayering a whole new way of how to love ourselves unconditionally. And we've been rediscovering this, and there's always going to be more layers to come, but it feels like a lot of us have really started to unveil a deeper sense of this and been asked to find a deeper sense of self-love. And this is really setting at the foundation to to naturally magnetize a romantic partner into your life, or just to upgrade the romantic partner relationship that you have in your life already. So trust all these new ways that you're learning to really love yourself, and know that that's why it's happening right now. You're being asked to do this because once you be able to see this love in yourself, it's going to be so easy and so clear when someone sees that love in you, for you to recognize that this is the right partner for you, or that you're being able to deepen this relationship and be able to experience so much more love and connection for yourself. And yeah, it's also just like a really great moment to congratulate yourself on this work that you've done on yourself, of like, to get to this point of being able to love yourself unconditionally wasn't easy. It felt like it was a fight before, where you felt like you literally had like a machete and you were just trying to like squash your demons left and right and slashing them, and it felt really hard in this tough energy. And now you're in this new mode where you're learning how to love yourself unconditionally in a really nurturing and gentle way. And this leads me into message number 3. And message number 3 is really seeing the beauty all around you. So there are going to be exciting things that are coming up. There's a lot of new beginnings that are happening this month, as I channeled for just the month of March. And the more that you recognize the beauty in everything, no matter how little or small the things that are coming towards you, the more it's going to expand and then multiply even more. So this is very much the energy of abundance. We know the more grateful you are for the abundance in your life, the more it's going to catapult you into even more expansion. So even if it's just like a little, let's say you get like a sale that comes in. It's just one little sale. It's not a big deal. But the more that you open in your heart, you fully receive that, you congratulate yourself, you celebrate it, and you enjoy it. And that is just going to multiply even more, because now it's like, yes, I know I'm deserving of this, and it's going to come even more and more and more. So the same thing happens. Let's say you have like a romantic encounter and someone approaches you and they kind of hit on you. The more that you are expansive to that opportunity and so grateful for it, whether it led to a longer connection or not, the more it's going to lead to even more encounters. So pay attention to how beauty is showing up for you, where you're seeing the beauty in your world, where you're getting in these gifts from the universe. It's going to show up differently for all of us. It could be relationships, it could be career, it could be all the above. But the more that you really sip the sweetness in of these opportunities and celebrations coming in, it's just going to multiply and bring you into this state of abundance coming forward. And the last message that I tuned into, which I thought was really fun, this is funny because St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and I believe it's on March 17th, and so this is around the full moon, but they showed me a 4-leaf clover, and a lot of us are going to feel like we're really lucky, like we're getting in lucky opportunities and all these fun things, and it's like, oh my gosh, like it's just, luck is such a fun energy, right? It's like a quick little thing that comes in. And they want to remind you that yes, you're lucky, but it's almost like you are your own luck charm. Like it's almost like, when you were like little and you had maybe like a good luck charm that you had, and like, okay, every time I wear this, like something good happens, or every time I wear this, I'm able to do a cartwheel or something like that. They're saying now the elevated version of this is realizing that you are the lucky charm. The reason why all these lucky opportunities are coming towards you is because of you and your magnetism and this sparkly energy that you are radiating. So know that you're very deserving of all these lucky opportunities that are coming in, and it's because of you. And they also show me that it's important to connect to this lucky charm that you have within you. Like you can even visualize that, like visualize a four-leaf clover in your energetic field and connect to that type of energy every day. And that's going to pull in even more opportunities and more miracles into your life. And that's the kind of energy that they want you to start stepping into. It's very childlike. It's very like serendipitous. It puts you in this surprising state, and it puts you in a state of detachment. I think a lot of times with manifestation, we try to control it. We harp on the things that we really want, but the universe really wants to surprise you with what it's going to bring forward, and it wants you to stay in this childlike wonder of what it could be. And oh my gosh, if I just have my lucky charm and I'm holding it, I wonder what's going to show up. That's the kind of energy that they want. So I actually have like a ring that I wear that I always tell myself, like, okay, when I wear this ring, like it's my lucky charm. So you can have something symbolic that you wear just to remind you to stay in this energy, but they really want you to stay in a detached state of like anything can happen, and I'm so open to however the universe wants to surprise me. And I know that if I receive this, that it is so meant for me, and it's because of the light that I'm radiating, and I am a frequency match for that lucky opportunity that is going to come inward. Oh, I love all these beautiful messages. So now I'm going to share 4 goddess cards that I pulled to help us with this full moon in Virgo. These are just like extra guidances and more so like action that you can take for yourself. So the first card that I pulled was Goddess Athena, who represents inner wisdom. This really went with the first message. So the reason you're going to be able to lock into these new routines and habits is the work of trusting your intuition. Like you've tried so much of like, okay, I'm going to try this diet, or I'm going to try this lifestyle practice, and then you tried it and you're like, oh, that wasn't my intuition. I was a TikTok reel that I got sucked into that I thought it was going to be right for me, and it wasn't. So this is a culmination of you staying connected to your intuition, which is going to become really important for you staying locked into these routines and habits and going to fast track you forward. This also goes with Goddess Ishtar, who represents boundaries. So being really firm in your yes and no's, and just confident in your yes and no's. You've really been, it feels like a lot of you have been doing really good boundary work and expressing them, but you've kind of had lingering guilt after. You've kind of had some leaky emotions that have happened after you set the boundary, that maybe you set it and then you went back or a little bit, but they just seem like very firm and clear that you are going to say yes, and there's like no emotional attachment that happens to it. Like you've really released that over the past couple of months, and so look at that as a win for sure. And also keep trusting your boundaries, like keep trusting your yes and no's. They're going to become more clear and easier, which is going to feel so good for you and your energy. I pulled Goddess Guinevere, who represents true love. So obviously this has to do with the romantic energy that is stirring. So this is just a continuous build of relationship, of romancing yourself. So for my single women, a lot of the messages have been like taking yourself out on dates, buying yourself flowers, going out to dinner, however you want to be romanced, like continue to do it with yourself. And also it's just like the way that you talk to yourself, I'm hearing, is going to be really important. So Virgo is often associated with the perfectionist, so sometimes we can be highly critical and just, yeah, like a very harsh inner critic voice that's coming up. So if you are hearing that, it's time to really welcome in that voice and get to know it and ask what it needs, ask what it wants, and just really bring it a part of your conversation, because you are starting to shift that inner dialogue to be unconditional love, to really represent this love that you give so willingly to others that you're giving it back to yourself. And again, when you start to practice and do this, the romantic partner is going to come in, or you'll be able to deepen the relationship you already have. And then the last message, or the last goddess that I pulled, was the butterfly maiden, who represents transformation. And this makes a lot of sense with eclipses and the retrogrades. Like some of us are going to be experiencing fast shifts where it's like, whoop, all of a sudden we're like turned in a different direction and we're like, okay, like I guess I'm going this way now. So it's just trusting these changes that are unfolding are for your greatest and your highest good. And even if you get these miracles or these opportunities that come in and may feel like they're coming in from left field, like, okay, like thank you, but like don't know where this is coming from. Trust that it's realigning you to click into that new vibration that you're setting into. Like it is coming into your life for a reason, and it is going to bring you clarity, and it's going to be the right direction. If for some of us it kind of feels like it's coming from like left field, like what is this? This seems random, but that's how the universe is going to surprise you, because they don't want you to try to plan and try to see what's trying to come and try to predict what's going to happen in the future. They want to surprise you. So allow the universe to kind of pull you in that other direction and like take your shoulders and turn you and spin you around just to kind of shake things up and to get you into that detached mode of, oh my gosh, I'm so surprised. I did not expect this gift the universe was going to give me in this way. And I'm so happy that they did. Okay, everyone, those are all my messages for the full moon in Virgo. I will be going on Instagram Live on Wednesdays and Thursdays around 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to do individual card pulls where I can tune into your energy and see what messages are coming up for you and what healing recommendations you need for your journey. For those of you who want a deeper exploration, I also offer one-on-one activate your intuition sessions. These sessions, we really get down to what's blocking you from connecting to your intuition, why you're not receiving spiritual messages. I find the root cause of this by literally tuning into your energetic field and removing the blocked energy and then restoring the natural energy so you can start receiving messages. And I like to get a really healthy balance of feminine and masculine energy in these sessions. So as much as I'm healing and it's very much about receiving intuitive messages and it feels so good, the feminine energy, I also share really tangible recommendations that you can start doing and where you can take action in your life after these sessions, which is awesome as well. So if you would like to sign up for those, you can sign up with the link in the show notes. Thank you all for being here today and for listening. If you love this podcast episode, please share it with a friend or family member who would love it too. And I will see you next time.